I think the only way to stop the rat race is investing in yourself. I heard you saying, oh, I heard that my whole life, right? Me too. You have to invest in yourself. Rich people get richer because they invest. Rich people invest. What does that really mean? For the working man, for me, for the people that are like the regular life living, the so-called regular people, right? Which there's nothing regular about anybody, right? It's either you are connected to the God power inside you or you're not. If you are, doesn't matter who you are great. You become great. It doesn't matter where you were born, how old you are, who you are, what your skin color is, da-da-da-da. When you find that link, right, that interest, that you true interest is the link, right, that connects you to God. It's called passion. When you find passion, you found God. Whatever it is that you are naturally interested in, doesn't matter if it makes money, it doesn't matter if it's popular, it doesn't matter what, it only matters that you love it. Because your attention is currency. If you could love it, you could pay attention to it. You can continue to work on it on a daily basis. You don't mind putting in the work. You don't mind putting the effort. Because it comes naturally to you. And you get better and better at it. And you become one with that. Right? And then it's like we call them, oh, so-and-so is this, so-and-so is that, right? You come to earth to create something of yourself. Not just your name. But a majority just come on their name. And they leave. The only thing you carry is a name. Right? But they are the greats. They created. They become something. They're not just names when they die. They were something. They leave something behind. But you only carried your name. Guess what? When you die, nobody even thinks about you. You're forgotten. Your loved ones for a little while. But guess what? They'll move on. Your own child will move on. Your own lover will move on. Because that's our nature. That's how we are. But when we are alive, we're like, oh, conform, just want to be like one another. So afraid, we just want to be so close, tied up with one another. But you come alone, you die alone. That's the whole point of life. Life is trying to tell you. Right? So how do I leave something behind? Because I am here to pass on something. That's why I come to earth. I come from somewhere. From something. Something creates me. This liquid thing that grows up to be like me with eyes, with bones, with nails. That was my fascination since I was a child. How does a baby becomes a baby, like inside the stomach? How does, right? Like, but most don't think. We're just like bypassing everything. That's why we're fucking bored. And when you're bored, you pay for it. Right? Because you're not supposed to be bored. That's why you're out here like self-destruct, because you cannot be bored. It's impossible. We are not created to be bored. That is the worst thing for a human being. Right? So what do we do not to be bored? All the wrong things. Now, how do we change this rat race, right? This is the working, like the person that's working 8 to 5. I used to be that too. What do I do? What do we do when we get the paycheck? It's the happy hour, go to the mall, buy an outfit, right? Especially after social media, you can't post the same thing, right? So you're already like spending the money before you even receive it. And it's for something that you don't even need, does not have benefit to your soul. Right? Like, I understand, I'm a fashion lover too. I'm a fashion designer. I love fashion, right? I used to be. It matters. I was addicted to shoes. Right? But until the universe showed me that I had a full closet of shoes with a tag, never been worn, but they are being worn. We're worn out just by sitting. Right? It's like, 2020 was like the biggest lesson for me. Like 2020 was like I went to a university, a life university, and I graduated. That's how I feel. Right? It's like looking at the clothes, like, But each shoe cost money, right? I didn't get it for free. But what is this? But like, what is the shoe in the closet like sitting there doing for me? Nothing. Right? That's what helped me to separate from the what is it? The consumerism disease, I guess you can call it. But the main thing that I wanted to share was that everybody hates their job. Nobody loves their job, right? We don't want to work, but we do it because we have to. We got bills to pay, right? But how are we going to invest in ourselves if we continue to live a life like this, like spending money on, right? Because you can't tell me Well, depending on where you're working, right? Like, there is money that you spend on things that do not bring a long-term benefit, right? So how about we start to invest on the things that we like? For example, right? I want to be a writer. So what do? And instead of spending money every Friday, right, on shoes and just junk that doesn't have any benefit for me, how about I spend this money and get a writer's retreat program, or something in that category, in the category that I'm interested in. How can I get tools? Because no one was born knowing what we know, but we could learn anything, right? In fashion school, we learn how to sketch, how to draw, but I naturally thought, like, I believed even that, I can't draw. Some people are naturally, they're like able to draw, right? But most of the time, it's the interest that you have. And unless you go and practice hands-on, you won't get better at it. But you continue to do that on a daily basis and you become excellent. That's what all the greats did. All the excellence that we see in our generation. They put in the work. What is putting the work? It's practice. Outside of practice, you're investing in buying the tools, right? The tools are out there. Someone else is doing it, right? We live in this fast-paced generation where we can buy education now. You can go learn. You can pay for school, but you can't buy class. Whatever it is that I want to do, right? I don't have to start from scratch now because of how much we have evolved. So whatever interest I have, right, I can go seek help and help me excel in my craft. No matter how small. And I'm understanding that is the fuel for humanity. That is what diminish wrinkles, these fine lines that comes, the premature fine lines. When you have a purpose, you wake up feeling good, genuinely feeling good, right? Because you have a relationship with life. But when you don't have a relationship with life, it's just like a dry stick. You just wake up, you sleep, you wake up, you sleep, it's just nothing, right? Like, no intention. You have zero relationship with God, with the creator of the life. There's so many beautiful things to look at. That's what we are created last. I always say this. Why were we created? After earth was created, all the flowers, all the animals, all the beauty. So we can get inspired with nature and then create our own. We were here to co-create with the universe, right? God is still making faces, different faces. You've never seen God made a mistake and, give two babies the same face, right? Even with twins, you can see. It's like a slight difference. You can tell them apart. That's even if you want to be technical, right? Like, the point is, like, God is still creating face, so he's not running out of ideas. We continue to give birth, God will continue to give us faces. And with those faces comes purpose. But it's all about who's gonna dare to listen to their interests. What do you want? It's all about that. What do you want? There's something that you want. Outside of the daily needs, the food, the junk, like, what do you want? What would you want to have every day? How would you want to live every day? Everybody has their own unique style. If you truly take the time and ask yourself that question. It speaks to you. It speaks to you. I love doing this, recording myself like this. Like, listen, like, I love this vibe right now. Because I'm not thinking. It just flows through me. And I'm enjoying it. I would love to do this. Make money with this? Hell yeah. Why not? But it's not connected to that, though. It's not just about the money. It's about how it makes me feel. Because it's teaching me, hey, we are here to have a relationship with life. You have something in you. You are not just created just to be created. You're amazing. Because look at your creation. Right? I'm fucking fascinated. I will forever be fascinated. This liquid thing. We are basically calm, right? Right? Before I understand what, like the sexual, before I have matured enough, I used to stare at the human body on letter H encyclopedia, my dad's collection, always drawn to the letter H, and then there's a page on human body. No one showed me. No one. And I would stare at these pages. They're like made out of this see-through plastic, and every single cell in the human body is like clearly, beautifully listed. Such a beautiful book. If you know, if you've seen encyclopedia, it's a great book. They do, they're best. I love the artwork on encyclopedia. Right, so I used to wonder. It's like I don't even know at that age, right? But this is before the age of 13, before I transitioned to America, right? Like I was just a girl, but I'm fascinated. Like I don't even know what's inside me, and I didn't have anyone to ask. Oh my God, who am I gonna ask? My mom. I remember reading the body 70% water, and I'm like, how come the liver and like these organs stay still? Like, right? I remember the first time I read that, I was trying to walk straight, sit straight, because I didn't want the water. But think about it. Your interests are what's here to save you. Like, why would I be interested in that? Now I have the psychology degree, like in my early 30s, thinking back, like how I used to be before the age of 13, what my interests were. It's when you have that you have the drive to live. Like, we don't even understand. We have a drive. We need a drive to will. A drive to live. That's why everybody's miserable and everyone is living through muscle memory and just like acting like an animal. No intention. You wake up, you go to sleep, go to work, clock it. Like, you're literally living your life just like the job that you hate. Like, you clock in, you clock out. That's how you are with life too. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you're just like going with the flow. No gratitude, no setting intention to the day, no blessing the day, like nothing. Just like animals, you wake up, you sleep, you wake up, you sleep. And you get frustrated for not seeing what insanity is doing the same thing and not, right? He said it, the great, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And not only that, we're hurting the planet Earth, right? Because the universe bears me no ill, so I shall bear no ill to the universe, right? But the one that's the ungrateful, they're constantly emanating negative energy, affecting the people that walks by them, the people that they come across throughout the day. And what does the scripture tells us? Those that have it will get more, right? It will be added more to what they have. And then those that they don't have it, it will be even more taken from them. I'm seeing it. Imaginary. The people that complain the most, you will find them finding complaint out of something that's beautiful. I'm like, what the fuck, right? Like, we spent the same day together, right? This is how I cut one of my friends. I remember, like, when I started really, really paying attention and cutting people off, right? We went out. This was like the one day that, like, I don't know, it got really loud. My emotion got really loud for me, and I realized it, right? We spent the whole day together. And it was like, we were talking to our like other friend at the end of the day, and it's like she had a problem with every person, right? From the moment we met, it's like she had a problem with the barista, which I did acknowledge when we had breakfast. She had a problem with the server that checked us out when we had lunch. The cashier at H&M had an attitude. The perfume lady didn't want to, like, she was looking at it. I'm like, what? Right? That was the first time. So I was listening to her as she was talking, and I'm like listening, and it felt like I wasn't even with her. It felt like we spent a different day, right? I was like, were we really together? Which barista? Was he me? When? I don't remember, right? Because we live in the same world. We got different views, right? Was that Drake? Yeah, one of Drake's songs. We live in the same building, but we got different views. Something like that. You see, because life is in the head. It's all about how you feel. It's not about the physical. So she was continuously reacting to what was happening. And because I was living on my bliss, I have not even recognized anything bad that went on that day. I'm happy for spending time with her, right? Like, whatever, beautiful summer day in Vegas, right? But that taught me, wow, right? Also, if you haven't read Psycho-Cybernetics, it's a great book to read to truly understand the mind and how we operate. Because what's the whole point of life? Know thyself. Why? Because knowing yourself is knowing your surrounding. When I understand myself, I understand others. Right? Like, people wonder, how come you don't get hurt? Well, honey, I can't expect it's expected what you're going to do. Like, I can see what you're doing with yourself. I see how you talk to yourself. I see the decisions that you're making for yourself. I see you're rushing to meet your limitations. Of course you're not going to support me that I'm still deciding to go to school, to study this, to add this, to do this, to do that. Of course you're not going to support me. And they're wondering why I haven't reacted, and they get even irritated that I continue to do what I say that I would do. It's funny. I can't even get angry because I understand. You could not give what you don't have inside, and you could not give me a compassion that you can't even afford to give to yourself. See, we treat everybody on the level or based on how we treat ourselves. Right? I wasted so much time treating everybody like they're queens because I treat myself like a queen. But no, some motherfuckers I learned, like, they need to be smacked left to right. Some people like it. Some people like it rough. That's what I'm getting. Some people need to swim a little more in their misery. Right? They need to be certificated in their pain. That's what I'm understanding. So you gotta let people be. Let it all work out. That's what I woke up singing, by the way, this morning. Let it all work out. Let it all work out. Yeah. Did you finish? I believe so.